on King's Tour today. I'm out driving, trying to get my ass to Bellever Forest because it was the hottest day of the year. It was going to be 29, now it's going to reach 31 I think at like 3 p.m. so I'll get myself under that tree cover if I can. Back again. So it's pretty packed today at this parking in Bellever Forest, which I like because it has big bays under the trees. But I think everyone's had the same idea as me, I think, to come here and get under the trees away from the sun. I might picnic under the tree cover, or I might picnic down by the water's edge, although it'd be more noisy and touristy there. Well, there's a few screaming kiddies and families, but I come up into the woods a bit from the River Dart, I think it is, and set up a little camp. There's an area just behind me that is like bog that's drying in the sun, but this bit that I'm on by the stream is pretty good, to be fair. I might have a little look around the area, see if there's anything by the river. Just come through a short bit of woods from my camp spot. Gonna just go and have a look at here, see what the dart's like around here. It's a little bit quieter here. I could come down here, I guess. I want it to be near some water though. Let's just have a look at the River Dart. Very blue today. Oh, maybe I could come here actually. What is this kind of landmark this? Well, here's my spot for now. I might go over there to the little pine tree by the river later on perhaps, but being over here, you know, they can't hear me very loudly, I can not hear them too loudly, except when they raise their voice, all the kiddies and families screeching. I don't begrudge all the tourists who are doing exactly what I'm doing, coming to try and get to the forest to keep out the sunshine. As it will get baking hot at 3 p.m, it will be a furnace, and getting under trees and in little dark river valleys is the best way to chill out, I've found, on a heatwave day like this, where it gets hotter than the average heatwave day. This is one of a few different spots that I'm going to be in today. It's going to reach 31 degrees C at like 3 p.m. It's currently like 12 o'clock, so in 3 hours it will start being 31 degrees C, which is the hottest we've had this year so far. It only ever gets to like 36 in the UK, so this for us is going to be a very hot day. So I have fled to Bellever Woods and I'm having a picnic here. I might move around under cover of trees, but currently I've just got this nice little stop by a brook, I guess, a little brook, a little stream that feeds into the Dart River that is over there. And there are so many tourists around with the same idea as me. Get under the trees. Also, I parked up here and then I forgot that Bellever parking, at least this one, is a pay and display one, so I almost just wandered off into the woods until I saw on the toilet shack thing it was like pay station. I was like, oh fuck, you have to pay to be here. That's a shame. I paid for all day, I think it was like £6.50 for an all day ticket. And this may look ugly, but trust me, I am not littering, I am not leaving these. This is the Nature's Fridge. I tried this yesterday at Nodden Gate near Armstor. It didn't work so well, but this is what I'm gonna pick those up, okay? Because I'm gonna drink them and I'm gonna take the litter home with me. Just so you know. But nature's fridge. I'm not sure how cold the water is, but I've seen Hayes Outdoors do this with his drinks cans and things. Just like on a hot day, try and use the power of nature, which is free essentially, to cool down your drinks. Didn't work so well yesterday, but I think I'll be able to cool them down at least a little bit before 3 PM happens. Is it any good? That's not bad. That's not bad. Raspberry and blueberry. That's pretty good actually. Foam bananas, courtesy of East Lou or Lou Beach Trip. There was like a trainee in that sweet shop, a trainee girl serving me, and she was like typing on the till, trying to get the till to work. I think she was learning like first day stuff. I was like, how much for this one? It was like, came up to like, the till came up as £1,836.92. I'm like, oh okay. I think these ladybirds are getting more action than me. I actually bought one of my sketchbooks today and a pen, which I don't normally do when I'm out picnicking and stuff. It's in the car, but I don't normally bring them out with me. So, hey, do some drawing and writing. Random thoughts spill into my mind. I'm suffering, I think, from some form of PTSD from the trauma of not spending my adult years in the 80s and 90s world that I grew up in, that was taken from us and was replaced. It's a shame how little I draw now as an artist. Knowing that everyone's using AI for everything just kind of sucks the life out of you as an artist. You think like what's the point? There's no one values us anymore for what we do, like for putting the work in, putting the effort in to try and make a picture, when you can just be lazy and type a prompt and get a visual like thing come up on the AI photo and art generators that is just like, it just pops up, and I guess it trawls through all the art in the world on search engines and uses computer programs to piece them together based on what it thinks the user wants. And it's just like, it demeans those of us who actually do art, who actually spend time in creating images for people. And we might not get it right with commissions and things. We might not get exactly the sort of thing the commissioner, the person who commissions us, wants, but you know, we can try a handful of times and we can do our best, and we can create something that is real, that is organic, that is from an actual artist, you know, handmade. We put care and love into it, we care about what we're doing. We may not have what's in the mind of our client, we may not have that exact picture that they have in our head, and they've, you know, they can get a lot closer to that picture that's in their head by messing around with AI. But yeah, it just kind of devalues us, the artist, in the end, especially if we want to make any kind of business out of it. I think it's up to the client, the person who's typing in prompts on the AI, to maybe not do that, and to go to an artist knowing that they're not going to get exactly what they want, but they're going to get like authentic handmade art in the region of what they want, you know, from a real person who has taken their life to get skilled at what they do. I'm drawing this thing that Clint Eastwood's holding on his shoulder. I think this is from a film I haven't seen called Rawhide, but I know Clint Eastwood, I know he's in lots of westerns. He's got this thing on his shoulder that looks like some sort of horse-based apparatus, and I'm drawing it, but I don't actually quite know what it is. It's that thing slung over his shoulder. So I'm just kind of drawing from look. I think if I knew what the device was and I'd drawn it before, like where it goes on the horse or whatever, then it would be easier than just drawing an unknown leather thing from a reference photo. Someone familiar with horses is probably looking at this going, "Oh, you idiot, how could you not know what this is? It's a chumberator," or something like that. Like someone who knows about horses knows what this object is, and they're laughing because it's like, yeah, I'm drawing this object that I'm not familiar with, but they are. And because they're more familiar with it, if they took up art, just that particular thing would be easier for them to draw because they have experience with the item, I guess. Whereas with me, I might be getting it right, I don't know. But then someone who's familiar with the item would be like looking at the end result of what I'm drawing and going, "That's not quite right, what's that? What is that thing that he's drawn?" Here's my take on it, whatever it is. Look at this artist. He can't even draw a horse chumberator. He can't even draw a horse quintiliac. I've been using these every day of my life. And this artist, he can't even draw. There we go, I even found a reference for horse on a hill. That's that's my Clint Eastwood that I've been drawing. Good, good, good. I'm trying to line him up so you can see him alright. How's he doing with his unknown leather thing on his shoulder? Okay, I just took these out. Let's see how nature's fridge is done. They're not cold, but they're a lot cooler. They were in the car, so they were like, it was like hot drinks in a bowl. They're a lot cooler now. They are not cold though. But it's only a little brook, it's not fast flowing. It is in the shade, mostly, that's a plus. Yeah, I think it needs to be slightly deeper and fast flowing. The problem with deeper is you might lose your bottles. Your bottles might flow downstream, so you don't really want deep. You want a little bit where the water's trapped with a little exit where the water's flowing out. Then your drinks won't flow downstream or anything. They'll actually just sit there in this little cut-off bit. That's what you're looking for. Yeah, they seem they definitely seem cooler. I think the lighting's changed a little bit in my little wood. I think it's because the sun is actually finding a gap, which isn't so good approaching 3 PM. We're actually approaching 2 PM, but still don't really want the sun to reach the gap when it reaches its hottest. But yeah, all this wasn't sunny before, it was in shade. I wonder how many of these people out here today have normal houses to go back to, where they don't have people like stealing from them and stuff and threatening them when they get back in. They can just live and cook dinner and go about things normally, think clearly, not be at threat or stress. I mean, that's probably most of them, right? If they have problems in their life, they're probably like other things. Kind of wish I could meet someone in these places, but that's very hard to do these days. Anyway, I'm thinking of changing location. Also, the sun is starting to appear in the gap in the trees, so that might be another reason to move. But yeah, I've been here for a while now. I've been here for like 2 hours, maybe 3, I don't know. 2 hours I think I've been here. 12, yeah, I've definitely been here for 2 hours. I'd like a bit of a view, maybe a view on the activity of the people moving around and stuff, but also a backing, like stuff behind me. I don't like people walking behind me and stuff. So maybe get a bunch of thick trees behind me or something, or some sort of impasse where people aren't likely to want to go through. That'd be nice. Or I might go to the water's edge, or I might go away from the water. Okay, I've come away from the streams now and away from the tourist mania, and tucked myself in to this little shaded spot down from the car park. It's a lot quieter here, but it's a lot warmer. I have a feeling that because it's not like sheltered in a large area, like out there, the sun's beating down on the ground. I guess the hot air might be flowing into this gap here. So even though I'm in the shade, I'm not sure this is as sheltered as where I was for keeping the heat out. But oh well. I was going to sit in the car, and then the car's just like partially in sunshine, so that's going to be a no-go. It's going to be roasting.
But CGI is new and very expensive.
Why is there such a bubbly cloud here? It's the Heatwave day, 31°C. This is the sort of cloud you get after rain. Fucking nuclear bomb bubbly cloud here going on.
Some of the stuff they do in here is really impressive.
Yeah.
Because basically, like Jurassic Park, Spielberg got like annoyed in the middle of making that, because most of the CGI scenes, everything had to be kind of locked down.
Barn Hill now, and the sun is still really high up. At
It's slightly different.
5:30.
It was a timely joke.
Okay.
I think maybe he
How high up
recognizes
it
Bowen,
is
and maybe
still.
that's why he's keeping.
Yeah.
It's also
Thank you
ILM.
for watching.
I don't know. But that is like a big deal, I guess.